Good morning, children.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, ma'am.
Last day we learned about the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Hope you are remembering the differences and similarity between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Did you learn?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
very good. So anyways, I will be asking. So let me continue with the topic. I told you there is a flow chart given in your textbook showing the breaking down of glucose through different pathways. Their aerobic and anaerobic respirations are given. That flow chart you should practice. So I'll show you that flow chart and let's see what is given over there. Breaking down of glucose by different pathways. This is the same diagram given in your textbook, and the main points we already learned what is given. So
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
show it once again. The first step, this is the first step. That is, I told for both it is common. Glucose is broken down to pyruvate. This is glucose having 6 carbon atoms, and pyruvate is having 3 carbon atoms. Pyruvate plus energy will be formed. Then now pyruvate will break down into different products in aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Let's take the case of aerobic respiration. Presence of oxygen, as we already learned, forms carbon dioxide, water, and energy. But when it is taking place in the absence of oxygen in our muscle cells, the products are lactic acid and energy. Already we learned.
Yes, ma'am.
Whereas when it takes place in yeast cells, the products formed are carbon dioxide, energy, and ethanol. This ethanol is given over here, whereas here it is water in aerobic respiration. Remaining, the other two products are same. So this you should draw and you should learn it thoroughly. I'll repeat once again the points we already learned. The first step in both aerobic and anaerobic respiration is a breaking down of glucose into pyruvate, which takes place in the cytoplasm. And glucose is having 6 carbon atoms, pyruvate 3 carbon atoms. And this pyruvate molecule in presence of oxygen, that is aerobic respiration. So in aerobic respiration or in presence of oxygen, pyruvate will break down to carbon dioxide, water, energy. And when it takes place in the absence, the lack of oxygen means absence of oxygen. It is same as anaerobic respiration. When it is taking place in human muscle cells, it forms lactic acid and energy. Lactic acid is having 3 carbon atoms. Then, when anaerobic respiration is taking place in yeast cells, the products formed are ethanol, carbon dioxide, and energy. Okay, this we already learned. In the form of flow chart, we didn't discuss. The products form we have already discussed. Hope you understood. So you should know what are the products formed when anaerobic respiration takes place in yeast cells. What are the products formed in yeast cells? Carbon dioxide,
And
ah,
energy.
energy, and
Ethanol.
ethanol.
Yeah.
But when
The
aerobic respiration is taking place, the products formed are carbon dioxide, water, and energy. And the products of anaerobic respiration in human muscle cells are lactic acid and energy. Don't forget it, learn it thoroughly. And now, what happens to this energy that is being released? So, just now we said, as a result of respiration, energy is being released in our body. But all the energy released is not immediately utilized. Okay, after having meals, or maybe some days we are sitting at home, or you have holidays, you don't spend too much of energy, excess amount of energy is released. And what will happen to this energy? We need only some energy to do our normal activities. When we are involved in some vigorous activities, you need more energy. And what happens to this excess energy? The excess energy produced will be used to synthesize, it will be stored in the form of ATP molecules. The energy which is released during cellular respiration. Cellular respiration means, you know, it is inside, it's within the cells that respiration is taking place. Glucose is broken down within the cells. So as a result, the energy released as a result of cellular respiration will be used for synthesizing what molecules?
ATP molecule.
ATP. Last year, didn't we learn about ATP molecule? Adenosine triphosphate. Where is ATP molecule synthesized? In which organelle? Let me see who will tell the answer. In which organelle?
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria. Who told?
Isha.
Isha.
Right.
Yes, mitochondria. ATP is the energy currency of the cell that we already learned. ATP is the energy currency. You know, the currency what you have, you will spend it to get the products you need. Similarly, ATP is the energy currency, and whenever your body needs energy, this currency will be spent. ATP molecule will break down and release energy. I'll repeat again, the energy which is produced as a result of respiration will be used for synthesizing ATP molecules. So it will be stored in the form of, energy will be stored in the form of ATP molecules. And as and when we need, these molecules will break down and give us energy. And we call ATP molecules as the energy currencies of the cell. The energy which is released by the breaking down of ATP is used to carry out the different endothermic reactions taking place in our body. You know that in your body, different reactions are taking place. So some of the reactions need energy. So when ATP molecule is broken down, energy will be released, and this energy will be used for carrying out endothermic reactions. Endothermic and exothermic reactions you might have heard, you might have learned in chemistry. Exothermic reactions, their energy will be released, and endothermic reactions, they need energy. Okay, so the different endothermic reactions will take place with the help of ATP, energy released from breaking down ATP molecules. Hope you got it. I'll repeat once again. The energy which is produced as a result of respiration will be used for what? Synthesizing ATP. What do you call ATP molecule? Energy currency. Why do you call it as energy currency? Because the energy which is released by breaking down ATP molecule is used for carrying out endothermic reactions in the cell. So it can be asked, why ATP is known as the energy currency? It's because the energy released by, again, Anuj is showing the ceiling. I've told you many times. The energy released by the breaking down of ATP is used to carry out the endothermic reactions taking place in the cell. So we call ATP as the energy currency of the cell. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Why ATP molecule is known as the energy currency of the cell? Raya, why ATP molecule is known as the energy currency of the cell?
The energy released by the breaking down of
ATP
is used to carry out endothermic
reactions taking place within the, or endothermic reactions within the cell. Okay. And what happens to the energy released by means of cellular respiration? Aaron? Aaron Jose Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
What happens to the energy released by cellular respiration? Krishna, Rachel George, Rohan, Isha, turn your videos on. And Rachel, after this period, you may call me, okay? 15 minutes break is there, no? I have sent a message. Do call me. Aaron, give me the answer. What happens to the energy released by cellular respiration?
Immediately
Uh, uh,
used to synthesize ATP molecules.
reading now. And then Aaron, please, when your teacher is saying 5, 6 times, at least you consider her request. No, I've told many times, sit in a properly lighted room. I'm not able to identify you. I can't see your face. If you come and stand in front of me also, I cannot make out these two are same because your face is not clear. Okay, next day at least. I have been telling this earlier also. I remember very clearly. I remember. And please do turn your videos on at the same time. It should not be for namesake. We should be able to see you. I've seen some of them turn the videos on and show the curtain of their house, cupboards of the house, then ceiling fan, all that I'm not interested in seeing. And some of them, they turn the video on and instead of focusing on the face, as I told, it will be focused somewhere else. And one more thing, some sit in a dark room. I think they don't. Last day in one class, I'm not mentioning the name of the child. I was not able to make out the child. Complete darkness in the room. But if it is asked, video is on. Then when I asked, she turned on the switched on the light. Then I was able to see her. So you people know, but still you don't want to. Okay, don't do all those tricks. We are asking you to turn your videos on with a purpose. Understand it in the right sense and please cooperate. Okay. And last class, we learned about the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And now we learned what will happen to the energy released as a result of aerobic and anaerobic respiration. It will be stored in the form of ATP molecules. And these ATP molecules we call as the energy currencies of the cell. The reason is when ATP molecule is broken down, using that different endothermic reactions takes place, different endothermic reactions take place in your body. That is why you call it as the energy currency of the cell. And next, what we are going to learn is about respiration taking place in plants. Now, we completed respiration taking place in animals. So, next is about respiration taking place in plants. Do plants respire, children? Do plants respire?
Yes.
Yes. And how do they respire? What do they take in and what do they give out?
Oxygen and give the carbon dioxide to out.
Just like everyone. Any other opinion or any other suggestion about their respiration? Fizan told they take in
carbon dioxide
they take in carbon dioxide
and take carbon dioxide and oxygen.
both they take in. And what do they give
No,
out?
give out
Give out
oxygen.
oxygen. Anyone else? Any suggestions? Anybody wants to supplement what they said? Nobody. How many of you believe that oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out during respiration in plants? Nobody. And how many of you say that carbon dioxide is taken in and oxygen is given out during respiration? Nobody. For both category, nobody is there. Okay, okay. Okay, let's see what is or how is respiration taking place in plants. Children, just like other living things, plants also, they also come under the category of living things. So plants do respire. And just like when you say respire or respiration, the definition remains the same. Taking in oxygen,
Carbon dioxide out.
utilizing it for energy release, giving out carbon dioxide. When plants are respiring, they also need oxygen and they give out carbon dioxide. But to carry out photosynthesis, when you say respiration, it's taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. And during the daytime, plants carry out photosynthesis. And you know that nighttime, no photosynthesis takes place because there is no light.
No
So
sunlight.
at night, They will take in oxygen, give out carbon dioxide, just like any other animals. So when plants respire at night, they take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. And that is why we say that we should not keep indoor plants or plants inside the bedroom. Why? Because plants also take in oxygen. So we may run short of oxygen. So at night, no photosynthesis. So they take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. And during the daytime also they respire. They have to keep on respiring just like any other living organism. They cannot stop respiring during the day. It's not that during the daytime only photosynthesis, night time only they'll respire. That is not possible for a living thing. They respire throughout the day. And during the daytime also, for respiration, they need oxygen. And as a result of respiration, they give out carbon dioxide only. But since they are taking in carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis and releasing oxygen, so a portion of the oxygen they'll retain for their respiration purpose, remaining only they will give out. You know that as a result of photosynthesis, oxygen is given out. For photosynthesis, we need carbon dioxide. Plants take carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. So during the daytime, plants are taking in oxygen, and as a result of photosynthesis they are releasing what? Oxygen. But they will retain oxygen needed for them to respire, and the carbon dioxide which they produce as a result of respiration they can use for carrying out photosynthesis. So just like any other organisms, plants also respire. They take in oxygen. So respiration means it cannot be taking in carbon dioxide. It is taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. And nighttime, the same thing is happening. No photosynthesis. So they keep on respiring at night by taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. But whether it is during the day or nighttime, respiration is same. But during the day, they need oxygen and they leave out carbon dioxide. But side by side, since they are carrying out photosynthesis, the oxygen produced by them will be, a portion of it will be used for its respiration, remaining only they give out. And the carbon dioxide which they produce as a result of respiration will be used for carrying out photosynthesis. Okay, so you should not misunderstand that. So you should not misunderstand that plants take in,
Can you repeat that once more? Oxygen.
I'll tell you, plants take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide during respiration, just like any other organism. But during the daytime, since plants are carrying out photosynthesis, they are preparing oxygen within their body. So they take a portion of their oxygen produced for respiration purpose, and the carbon dioxide produced as a result of respiration will be used for carrying out photosynthesis. And nighttime, no photosynthesis. So they take in oxygen, give out carbon dioxide, normal cases, just like any other organism. So don't misunderstand that. Why I asked this question is, when I asked in some of the classes, they had a, just like our Ashna said, I think not only Ashna, many of them were having that belief that plants, when they respire, they are taking in carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen. So giving out oxygen and taking in carbon dioxide is only when they carry out photosynthesis. When plants respire, they also take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, but it is not that evident during the daytime because they are producing oxygen by photosynthesis. So a portion of it they will use for respiration, remaining only they will give out. And similarly, the carbon dioxide which they produce as a result of respiration will be utilized for synthesizing food. Okay, let's see the details. See here, you can see the picture of a leaf and the minute openings present on the surface of the leaf known as stomata. Stoma is singular, stomata plural. You can see so many openings. And the exchange of gases, we have nostrils through where the gases enter and leave. But plants, they don't have any such organs. They don't have nose, nor they have any well equipped respiratory system. They have minute openings, and the exchange of gases takes place by diffusion through stomata. Diffusion, you already know, movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration is known as diffusion. So in plants, by means of diffusion, the gases will be exchanged through the openings known as stomata. And there are so many intercellular spaces in between the plant cells. Intercellular spaces means the space in between the cells. So in between the plant cells, there will be so much space. Air spaces will be there. So when they take in oxygen, so these intercellular spaces will get filled with air, and they ensure that all the cells are in contact with the air. And the direction in which diffusion takes place depends on two factors. Direction of diffusion means, just now I told, gases are exchanged by means of diffusion. So in which direction the diffusion is taking place depends upon the environmental conditions and the requirements of the plant. I'll repeat once again. We were discussing about respiration taking place in plants. How do plants respire, or by which process and through where the respiration is taking place? Plants respire through minute openings known as stomata, and it takes place by diffusion. The process by which plants respire, you call it as diffusion, and it takes place through stomata. Then, in between plant cells, what are present? Intercellular. Intercellular spaces means the space in between the cells. And why do these plants have intercellular spaces? That is to ensure that all the cells come in contact with air. So intercellular spaces, or these spaces, will get filled with air, and they ensure that all the cells are coming in contact with air. And next point, direction of diffusion. It depends upon two factors: in which direction diffusion is taking place, towards the plant or from the plant to outside. So that direction is dependent on two factors. One is the environmental conditions, and the second one, the requirements of the plant. These are the two conditions that decide the direction of diffusion. Is it clear? Is it clear, children? Alicia, Nihal, you want me to repeat again? You want me to repeat again? For that also no answer?
Okay, okay.
Okay, once again, I will quickly say the points. The topic we were discussing was respiration in plants.
Mask.
And respiration in plants takes place by means of diffusion. And how diffusion is taking place? Through the stomata. What are stomata? Minute openings present on the surface of the leaf. And why do plant cells have intercellular spaces? When intercellular spaces are present, they'll get filled with air. And this ensures that all the cells of the plants are in contact with air. And the third point, what we learned was the direction of diffusion. The factors which decide the direction of diffusion. Two factors are there. First one is the environmental conditions, the conditions of the atmosphere, conditions of the environment. And second point, the requirements of the plant. What do plants need? Plant is running short of which gas? So that depends on the direction of diffusion depends on these two factors. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can stop me in between.
Okay.
Now, during night time, let's see what is happening during night time and daytime. This is with respect to plants we are discussing. During the night time, will there be photosynthesis, children?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Because sunlight is not there.
Sunlight is must for carrying out photosynthesis. So during the night time, no photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide elimination is a major activity. When do we eliminate carbon dioxide? During which process? During which process are we eliminating carbon dioxide?
Cellular respiration.
Very good. Respiration. So when respiration is only, that means only respiration takes place during night. No photosynthesis. Only carbon dioxide elimination will take place. That means respiration. Carbon dioxide is eliminated via respiration. So they respire out or they breathe out carbon dioxide. Now let's see during daytime what is happening. During daytime, sunlight is available, photosynthesis will take place. Carbon dioxide generated during respiration. So I told you whether it is day or night, they also respire. They need oxygen and they give out carbon dioxide. But carbon dioxide which they produce as a result of respiration can be used for carrying out photosynthesis. That is why during the daytime plants are not giving out carbon dioxide. We say that if you sit in a park or if you're sitting amidst trees or plants, you feel so fresh during the daytime. Why? Because plants give out so much of oxygen. We get so much fresh air by means of which you feel energized. But they are also producing carbon dioxide during respiration, daytime too. But the carbon dioxide which they produce as a result of respiration will be used up in photosynthesis. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And oxygen is released. How oxygen is released? By means of which process they are releasing oxygen?
Respiration.
Uh-huh.
No.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. So as a result of photosynthesis, oxygen is produced. Some they will retain for respiration, remaining they will be released out. But nighttime, no photosynthesis. So the only activity is taking in oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide. And I told you that is why we say nighttime it is not good to sleep under the trees, or it is not good to keep too many indoor plants inside the bedroom, because during daytime, you know that we say that plants purify air, but nighttime no such purification is happening because no sunlight. Only by means of photosynthesis they give out oxygen. But nighttime, no sunlight, no photosynthesis, no oxygen release. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So next we will learn about respiration in animals. Human beings we completed. In other animals we will see. So plants also we have completed. Any doubts? Respiration in human beings. No, respiration in human beings we are yet to learn. Okay, just the introduction of respiration is over. Types of respiration is over. And after respiration in plants, we are going to learn about respiration taking place in animals, including human beings. In detail, you will be learning about respiratory system in human beings. So who will tell me the details regarding respiration taking place in plants? We saw 2 slides.
Ma'am.
Summarize those points. Navneet, you can start.
Ma'am, the exchange of gases take place in plants Diffusion through stomata.
Very good. Raya, next point.
The large intercellular spacing between the plant cells.
Why do they have large intercellular space? To ensure that
All cells
all cells come in contact with air. Lena, next point. Lena, is that
Next
your
point.
room? Your room?
Yes, ma'am.
There it is written Mickey Mouse. Who painted it? Huh?
Paint workers.
Okay. Everywhere, all the walls, it is like that?
No, ma'am. Only
Ah.
this room.
Okay. Continue.
Um, let's the exchange of gases.
Mm.
Through stomata.
All that points are told. You need to tell me the two factors that decide the direction of diffusion.
Depends upon the environmental conditions and
The environmental conditions. Second point,
requirements of the planet.
requirements of the plant. Good. Alicia, what else we learned? During the daytime, what is happening in plants? What are the different activities taking place during the daytime?
Ma'am.
Wait, Fizan. Alicia, have you noted down the points, Alicia? Unmute and speak. As soon as you get a question, unmute and speak. Whether you know the answer or you don't know the answer, that is different thing. I've told you. Unmute. You know the answer, Alicia? Wait, I'll make Delvin say the answer. Delvin, during the daytime, what are the activities taking place in plants?
Heat is generated during respiration.
Louder, child.
Heat is generated during respiration is used for photosynthesis.
Ayo, I didn't hear. Pardon. Once again. Slowly. You are in a hurry.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis will take place and hence what is released?
Oxygen.
Oxygen is released. Then what happens to the carbon dioxide produced?
Generated carbon dioxide.
Will be used for
Respiration.
using carbon dioxide they are respiring. The carbon dioxide released will be used for carrying out photosynthesis. And Alicia, nighttime what happens, Alicia? He told daytime. Night what happens? During night, what gas plants give out? Nighttime.
Oxygen.
Which one?
Oxygen.
Nighttime. Then why did I say that it is not good to sleep under the trees at night?
Ma'am, no photosynthesis. Okay.
Rohan, no photosynthesis takes place. So, what do they give out?
Oxygen. CO2.
If no photosynthesis, can oxygen come out?
Carbon dioxide.
They give out carbon dioxide and take in oxygen. No photosynthesis, no.
Yes, ma'am.
Alicia, nighttime, no light.
Yes, ma'am.
Without light, no photosynthesis. So when there is no photosynthesis, only respiration. Just like we do, they also take in oxygen, give out carbon dioxide. Okay? What do they give out at night? Which gas do they give out?
Carbon dioxide.
Okay. So with that, we have completed respiration in plants. And we started with the types of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And we learned about the similarities and differences. And we completed a brief explanation of respiration taking place in plants. Now we are going to learn about respiration taking place in animals. Animals have different organs for the uptake of oxygen. Animals, they have different organs for taking in oxygen from the environment and for giving out carbon dioxide. See, in class 7, you have learned different organisms are having different organs for respiration. Can you tell me some of the respiratory organs? Anybody is remembering?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Fizan.
Stomach.
Hmm?
Stomach.
I didn't.
Lungs.
Lungs. Lungs in human beings, mainly in human beings. Means mammals' lungs are there. What are the other respiratory organs you have learned? In insect? In fish? That you should know. What are the respiratory organs in fishes? From lower class you're learning. I'll give you a clue.
Ma'am, gills.
Gills.
Very good. Gills. So
Gills.
gills are the respiratory organs in fishes and lungs in human beings and in insects. Spiracles, trachea. Have you learned?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Class 7 you have learned trachea. Insects respire through spiracles and trachea. So different organisms, they have different respiratory organs. So each organism or each type of organism, they have different types of respiratory organs to facilitate the taking in of oxygen and giving out of carbon dioxide. So that is what is written over here. Animals, they have evolved different organs for taking in oxygen from the environment and for giving out carbon dioxide. All organisms are not having the same type of respiratory organs. Different organisms are having different types of respiratory organs. So we will be continuing with respiration in animals in the next class. Any doubts?
Ma'am, animals have evolved.
Don't write it as such.
Ma'am.
Different animals have different types of respiratory organs for
Different,
taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide.
different
Yes,
animals.
Nisan?
Different animals have.
Different types of organs.
Different animals have
Different types of organs
different types of organs.
for taking in oxygen
Organs
and giving out.
for taking in oxygen.
And giving out what? Nisan?
So carbon dioxide.
Yes. So we'll wind up. So whatever we have covered, please do revise. Yes, Krishna? Krishna, any doubt?
Yes.
Doubts are
no.
there? Are you revising?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
revising? Okay. Next class, be prepared to answer my questions. Okay?
Okay.
So thank you, children. See you next class.